On a dead AM frequency, I heard tomorrow's headlines crackling through the static. I'm Phil Moore, and tonight I chased a ghost through the waves. At exactly 11:03 p.m., I tuned the barn's battered radio dial, long abandoned, its metal face corroded, and it snapped to life with one warped syllable. KM0R E. My blood ran cold. Earlier I'd heard that same code bleed onto my typewriter ribbon and stain witness reports in the mirror's lag. Now it crackled through the static as if demanding I listen. The barn loomed around me, its beams groaning under a moonlit sky. I parked my recorder on a grease-spattered crate, the only clean surface within reach. Outside, trees whispered secrets in the wind, but inside, the radio's hum was a pulse in the dark. I pressed record and leaned in. A child's laughter tumbled through the white noise, slow, warped, as though captured from a broken music box. It matched the nursery rhyme I first heard at the press room, "Hush now, sleep tight." Only this time each note dripped with menace. Then a voice emerged, flat, mechanical, an announcer from beyond the grave. "3 will vanish at 5:17 a.m., it intoned, each word punctuated by a crackle. My heart surged. 3 names, 3 lives snuffed out at dawn. I winced, remembering my failure in Ashcroft. I missed the gas leak that claimed 2 children, and the guilt still claws at me every night. This uncanny broadcast felt like punishment, and proof that whatever I report can't just predict fate, it can command it. I bolted into the yard, the recorder clutched in my hand. The night air tasted of rain and old hay. I followed the signal's thread into the forest where gnarled branches clawed at my jacket, fallen leaves crunched underfoot, matching the static's rhythm in my earphones. A faint red glow pulsed among the trees, an echo of the old transmitter's cathode tubes. I knew its legend. In 1962, engineers vanished after one last broadcast, leaving this skeletal carcass of metal and wires to rust in silence. My flashlight beam danced over twisted antenna arms. Beneath the main dish, a weathered journal lay open on a control panel, its pages soaked with moss and ink. I flipped through its entries, diagrams matching the KM0RE symbol I'd sketched in my notebooks, dates aligning with every anomaly, the schoolhouse fire, the mirror lag, the ink rewrite. This was their blueprint, and I was the unwitting apprentice. Static surged, louder now, as if angered by my intrusion. I pressed my palm to the journal's page. The ink was still wet to the touch, though the paper was centuries old. My recorder wobbled in my other hand, its batteries drained to half, though I'd charged them hours ago. I tapped the side, the lights flickered, then sputtered back on. The audio cut to a hiss, then returned with one final message, softer than a breath. "Remember your first mistake, Phil Moore." I froze. The voice spoke my name with clinical detachment, and I remembered Ashcroft all over again, the smoke, the sirens, the 2 children, faces I still see in every flicker of firelight. I jabbed at the recorder, hoping to capture more, but the batteries died with a final click. Silence swallowed the forest. I staggered back to the barn, heart pounding so loud I felt it in my teeth. Inside, the radio sat dead, its dial pointing forever at static. I sank to the floor and pressed play. My own voice answered with a hollow echo, reading the same prophecy I didn't write. 3 will vanish at 5:17 a.m. That mechanical intonation was my own timbre, warped beyond recognition. The lines between reporter and reported blurred until I wasn't sure which was real. Tomorrow at dawn, 3 people will disappear. I know their names now, names I've mentioned in passing on my show. I've cursed them with audience numbers and dead air pauses. If I stay silent, the signal gains power. If I speak it aloud, I cement their fate. My next decision will decide who lives and who is erased. I stand here in this ruined barn, old wires crackling like nervous nerves, knowing I have 1 hour to act. I can broadcast the prophecy on every channel I control, expose the signal, break its hold, warn anyone with a radio, or I can leave it unsaid, hoping silence will starve the ghostly broadcast. Either way, the entity is listening. Coming up in the next chapter, I'll show you how these prophetic headlines link us all in a noose tightening with every keystroke. Stay tuned if you dare. Few.